Once I had a gun pointed at my son's head, I realized, you know what, I am not a gangster, okay? I cannot do this. And I do not ever want to put my child in that situation ever again, right? So that's when I up and moved to Louisville and started training to wrestle.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been excited for this one for a while. She's built a reputation for being unapologetically herself, whether it's wrestling, power slap, Netflix, it doesn't matter. But today isn't about the persona. I want to get to know the woman behind it all, the queen. Thank you for coming on the Front Porch Chronicles.
I am on the front porch. We porch partying right now. My Beyonce hair in the winds. Yeah, we happy to be here. Happy to let y'all know the real me, I guess.
You know, before anyone knew you as Hollyhood Haley, who was Haley?
A dumbass. I was definitely young and I had, some childhood trauma that I went through. So I definitely went the angry route. I didn't do drugs. I mean, I smoke weed, but that's because I'm epileptic and have seizures. And it is quite the medicine, I'll tell you. But other than that, I sold a lot of drugs, which led to other situations. And, eventually once I had a gun pointed at my son's head, I realized, you know what, I am not a gangster. Okay. I cannot do this. And I do not ever want to put my child in that situation ever again. Right. So that's when I up and moved to Louisville and started training to wrestle. And I was about 20 years old at that point. So, yeah.
Going back,
I was a dumbass, though. I can fully admit that.
What led up to the gun incident?
Selling drugs. I was serving, and somebody done popped up trying to get some stuff. I got set up. It was a whole ordeal. I got set up, trying to be a gangster. That's literally all it was. I'm a little girl, a young little girl, young little white girl at that, in the hood trying to sell drugs. And there were people who took advantage of that. Prior to my son's situation, I had already been held at gunpoint on my own. I had already been beat up and, robbed and everything. And then, that was the turning point for me. Like, forget all the stuff that I put myself through. I'm in the streets. I'm making these decisions. But when you brought my child into it, who didn't ask to be here, who's not doing any of this dumb shit, that's when I was like, skirt, wait a minute. I'm the one messing up here. I need to change. I need to do something. So
what changed inside you that day, do you feel?
I think I could say that was probably the first time that I had ever been scared. I think I was so angry as a teenager, as a child. I was so angry. So I held a lot of that. I used to be out here in the streets fighting for fun. Anytime me and my friends went out, we would fight. And I used a lot of that aggression there. And I think that was the first time that I actually felt like shit, like no. Any other time I was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about me anyways. Who cares? Go ahead, pull the trigger. But my son, my baby boy that I brought into this world, my twin, absolutely not. He didn't ask for this, So
I think when you have so much childhood trauma, and this is where I think we relate, I think you don't care about yourself. Absolutely. Did you just up and move to Louisville after that? How far is that from where you're originally from? Where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Somerset, Kentucky, and I kind of bounced around. My mom also lived that lifestyle, did a way better job at hiding it, never got us really involved or anything. But we bounced around a lot. And then eventually my mom went to prison and we bounced around some more. So we went back and forth between Louisville, Indiana, this area, to the woods, literally in Kentucky. If you guys ever heard of Liberty, Kentucky, it's in bumfuck nowhere. There's nothing there. But my mom was on the run. So she went from there back to the city, kind of back and forth. And then I went to school in Scott County High School. I ended up getting raped when I was 15. So that was a whole ordeal. The guy went around the school telling everybody he took my virginity. I got into a lot of fights about that. And then I moved schools and went to Frankfurt, which is where I was selling drugs and really got into the lifestyle. I was playing basketball, AAU basketball. I was a pretty good little basketball player back in my day, you know what I'm saying? And my coach, my AAU coach, shout out to Coach Price. He kicked me off the basketball team. I had to retry out for my AAU team, which is crazy because I had been playing with him for 6 years, Yeah. And he saw the path that I was choosing and, deciding to go. And he was like, yep, not for us, and kicked me off the basketball team. So once I quit playing basketball, that's when I dove head first into the streets. I went to night school. I did graduate a year early, but it wasn't because I was smart. It was because I went to night school, and all of my coaches were the teachers, from track, basketball, football, and they were helping me. Okay. And then, after that, I went to Frankfurt. I went to school there. The guy that raped me ended up going changing to the same school, kind of same situation there with him telling everybody something. I'm getting into situations. It was like the telephone game, you know, high school. So I got into a lot of
Yeah.
fights, even more fights. I was fighting all the time as a kid. That was like my whole thing. I
Yeah.
got in fights because my mom was a wrestler. People roasted me because my mom was a freaking wrestler. Like, oh, she a fake ass wrestler. But I'm like, bitch, well, I can beat you up. So what, you know? Yeah. So Frankfurt, though, that's about 45 minutes away from Louisville. And I was there. I left mom. I
Yeah.
moved out when I was 16. I was like, fuck everything. I can do better on my own. And I did, I thought, for a while.
Yeah.
And then boom, you know, life hit me. Life hit me.
So taking it back, the kid transferred. Did nothing happen to the kid that raped you?
No, so his stepdad was like a cop and stuff. He was pretty good. He transferred for football. My brother tried to get a hold of him,
Yeah.
but you know, sports and everything, we felt like it was
Yeah.
obviously not the best thing to do for us to handle the situation on our own. Yeah, I mean, I went and got, you know, examined rape kit and stuff because I was actually missing for 2 days. I took a bunch of Xanax. I was freaking 15 years old.
Yeah.
I was knocked out for 2 days. I missed basketball practice. I missed school. So, of course, my mom's putting out all these missing reports. She's pinging my phone, pinging my phone. I'm literally across the street in the apartments. And she's like, somebody stole Haley's phone. And then some boy, this is how I remember, like, coming to the situation. One of my friends who wasn't there at the time came in the apartment and, like, woke me up. And he's like, the police are here. The police are here. And I'm like, in zombie land. And I'm like, so I gotta run, right? I run out the door. My mom clotheslines me as soon as I step out the door. She's like, sit the fuck down, punched me in the face in front of everybody. The whole hood was like, ooh, right? And then the cop came up and had like the blower thing and was like, you know,
Yeah.
blow into this. And in my stupid mind, I was like, if I don't blow hard, they won't know I'm on anything, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, she's definitely on something. She can't even blow. And I'm like, LOL. So yeah, we went to the hospital and got the rape kit done. That's how I found out I was raped. It wasn't like, you know, he held me down and I was awake or anything. I was asleep. Didn't even know what happened. It was real embarrassing after I found out, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then all that, you know, just kind of kept going. Once my mom did get out of jail and was actually here for me, she
Yeah.
was wrestling. So she wasn't
Yeah.
here. You know, I'm already angry with you from being in jail. And I went through all this shit, getting beat up by all these freaking people that we lived with. And then you get out of jail and you're here, but you're not here. So I even kind of had some, you know, hatred towards her for that. I'm like, you're still not here, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like she wasn't there for me a lot of my damn life. And then eventually, as I got older, I have a great mentor, my pops, the man that raised me. He has helped me so much spiritually and just becoming the woman that I am today. Or I would be still very much like my mom. She still has like her same habits and everything. But my
Yeah.
mom told me one time, she was like, you know, I was young. I did what I could. Either you're going to forgive me or you're not. And then I sat and I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually really fucking funny because of all the shit that I went through. I use my trauma for a laugh. I laugh at it. Number one. Number two,
Yeah.
I'm tough as I went through so much shit as a kid that continued on as a teenager, and then situations that I put myself in as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't start growing up until I'm 26. I would say 24 is when it really started clicking for me, like my whole spiritual thing and everything. Before that, very angry, very hot headed, very
Yeah.
liable to smack you in the face without being paid for it. You know?
Well, to be fair, you've been through some shit, and so like not knowing
And I didn't
how
know how to
to,
control my emotions.
yeah, well, not knowing how to process, because when you don't know, like when we're not taught as a kid how to process emotions or things that are happening to us, it's like almost like it's not reality. And we don't know how to deal with it. And until we learn to heal and process so that we can move through the emotion, it stays stuck and ruminates.
Yep. Or even just putting myself in situations that obviously are not good because I'm used to chaos. I'm used to this kind of lifestyle and I'm comfortable here. It sounds crazy, but
No, it is not.
I would go to my friend's house who have a normal life, you know, mom, dad, nice house and all these things. And I would almost be like uncomfortable, you know, because I'm like, wow, like what is going on here? But that's what I want. I want a normal life, you know, for my kids and everything. So I have to realize that I have to make the changes and, you know, break the curse, as they would say. Yeah.
That's That's a lot, especially when you don't have that influence to kind of guide you. Trying to learn it on your own is a difficult thing.
Right. And people wonder about my biological father. My real
Yeah,
dad, whenever I was born, my mother, my grandpa, my mom's dad called, him, and his mom answered and let my mom and everybody know that they wanted nothing to do with me. They already have a son that they have to take care of. So like they don't want nothing to do with me. So I didn't meet my real dad until I was older. And at this point I
yeah,
already, have some kind of feelings towards you because I'm told this story and I'm like, well, you didn't want nothing to do with me anyways. So then I meet them. My mom and dad randomly get married at some point in the country, whatever. I'm trying to spend some time with that side of the family. I clearly do not belong. They're very traditional, very old school, like country, southern,
yeah,
and I wasn't their cup of tea, but that's because it's how I've been raised this whole time. So whenever my mom got with my pops, Rev, who also wrestles, he's the only
yeah,
one who actually, took the time to father me and teach me things. My dad, whenever my mom was locked up, we were staying with my uncle, and my uncle had 5 other kids. He was very overwhelmed. He had just got out of prison himself. So like he didn't know how to handle all of us. And we often
yeah,
got our ass whooped, okay? And I remember one time he like choked me up against the wall and my feet were dangling. And I was like so scared as a kid. My dad came to visit me and I begged him. I was crying. I'm like, please take me with you. Like until mom gets out, like please take me, right? There's too many kids here, And he told me he couldn't do it. And he left me in that damn house crying. And I was like, I will never forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? Never. So
yeah.
I grew up so angry. There was a point in time I used to get my ass whooped for crying. So I taught myself not to cry. Ask around. See if you know anybody who's ever seen me cry. I can't do it. You have.
So that's a lot to unpack. How
Yeah. Sorry.
when did you finally kind of say, hey, because I think we're stuck in this chaos loop that like we don't know what normal is, so normal almost feels weird to us. At what point did you kind of say, hey, you know what? This shit ain't is for the birds. Like I kind of need to shift my perspective.
Well, I think it took a lot. Okay, so my 21, 22 through 23, whatever, I was in this like really toxic relationship. And I learned so much in that relationship. Like the way he would compare me to like my mom and everything, I would sit back and actually notice the habits that I picked up from my mom. And that's when I could sit back and really like try to work on myself and realize that I don't want to do the same things or be the same type of parent per se. And then I'm be honest, a couple years after that, after I had got out of the relationship and everything, because it was a bad one. I mean, like beat
Yeah,
up, we tried to kill each other. I'm pretty sure he killed my dog. Like it was a whole ordeal, right? So once I got away from that, I had like started working on myself and I was trying this positive thing. My pops always
yeah,
tells me like you can create your own reality. It starts from within. So if you're angry and bitter in here, you're gonna get that out here. So I really tried to turn my mental around and check my thoughts and be more positive, because he also took all my freaking confidence. At one point in time, I thought I was the best thing walking, you know what I'm saying? And Hollyhood still does. So y'all out there don't get it twisted. Don't test her against it. But Haley J, I had to learn the difference
yeah,
between Hollyhood and Haley J. Haley J is a nice, caring, giving person. Hollyhood will fuck you up. She does not care at all. It's either you or her, and
yeah,
she's taking that. And I have to lock into that alter ego.
yeah,
But yeah, I can't give you like a set time on it because honestly, I'm
yeah.
still, it's still like an
Working
ongoing
through it.
process. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's forever an ongoing process.
It definitely is.
Because once we heal from one thing, it's the next, and it's kind of just learning how to do that without following back into the coping mechanisms.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What how did your perspective change whenever you had your son?
Well, I the first 2 years of his life, I guess, was still the same. My only it was different. It was less selfish, I will say. Like I was out here selling drugs and stealing and all kinds of shit for my son. I'm trying to provide
Yeah.
for my kid. Keep in mind, while I was still doing all this dumb shit, I had an actual job. I was a Cracker Barrel girl. I was working 8 to 8s at the Cracker Barrel. Okay,
What?
so I was busy on top of this, but I just felt like I have to give my son a better life. I have to give my son a better life. And then I guess
Yeah.
to be honest, I kind of seen like the glorified lifestyle of the drug dealing because my mom and everyone did it as kids, and we had at some times a really nice life. I was spoiled. We had a big ass house, and then other times we got robbed and I'm bouncing around and getting beat up, So like I think I just remembered the good part and I was like, I could do that. I can, play that smart, and you can't. You cannot.
Yeah. Let me ask you, so whenever the gun situation happened, you decided to make a move. Was that
Yeah.
exciting for you to make a move and change, or was it terrifying?
Exciting. I was nervous. I will say that, but like
Yeah.
I think I always knew I was going to be a professional wrestler. Everybody thinks I'm this big star right now. I haven't done anything that I want to do yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm nowhere near done. And I've always had this feeling, like even from when I was a kid. Let's take it back to when I
Yeah.
was a kid going through shit. I would have dreams. I would just feel something like I could be a professional wrestler. Like I feel like I could do this. And then I'm second generation. So I watched my mom and my pops as a kid watching them. I learned so much from just watching them struggle and everything. So I had a good idea before I even went. So every time something would happen, something bad would happen in my life, I would always get that thought to creep back in my head, like, go wrestle, go wrestle.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started talking to my friends in the hood who used to make fun of me in high school because my parents were wrestlers, keep in mind. I was like, you know what,
Now
y'all?
they want to be on the squad.
What? Yeah. And I'm like, you know what, y'all? I think I could do this wrestling shit. And they told me, like, go for it. And they went with me to my first practice where I was the shits. Okay. I hit my head over and over and over again. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, fuck this. Right. And then I went back to Frankfurt. And then that gun situation happened. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going and I'm going to put 100% effort into this lifestyle versus this lifestyle. So I had already tried wrestling before, and then I was like, no, it's not. I suck, And
With making that move, what were you hoping to find?
an escape? Question mark. Some kind of
Yeah.
safety. Which I mean, I live in the west end of Louisville right now. It's ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like I will be mowing the grass and find a whole throwaway strap in the yard. Which is why my son doesn't live with me right now. He lives with
Yeah.
his dad in Frankfurt, where there's a more routine. You know what I'm saying? He's got his wife and
Yeah.
three other kids, and they live a normal lifestyle versus me. I'm wrestling all the time. I'm out here in the hood where people are just getting stabbed in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want him to see that. So until I can
Yeah.
provide the life, for them. And that's the other thing. I have a great support system. His dad and his granny and even his stepmom, they all have so much faith in me. Like they support me. They'll take Zayden to shows. They'll pull it up on the TV and let him watch. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they really think I can do it. So I feel like I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm blessed to be able to do that because some single moms out here don't have, people to watch their kid while they go and freaking get smacked in the face for a living or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm super blessed.
When you first moved, was there a point where you questioned yourself?
Oh, yeah. But yes, I was at IWA Mid South. And then if you don't know anything about wrestling, that is a very hardcore company. And the boys were really rough. I was like 108 pounds getting thrown around by grown ass men, getting beat up, bruised all the time. I would go home and I would cry to myself and I write myself letters. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have any issues. I always have this method where I say you have to go through it to get through it. You can't just get over it, right? Because that's easy. Just get over it. Go smoke you a blunt or have you a beer and you get right over it, right? But you don't go through it, to get through it. So I always do this thing where I give myself a 2-day rule where I'll feel sorry for myself or whatever. And usually by the second day, I will write myself a letter and kind of like almost talk shit to myself. You know what I mean? Because that's like,
Yeah.
maybe that's what I'm used to. I don't know. But I'm like, you like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You put yourself in this situation. These are your problems. Now here are some solutions, get with the program. And
Ooh,
then
I
that
like
helps
that.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It helps. It helps a lot. I started
Yeah.
doing that. I don't feel so, I actually get through it. I'm like, you know what? This happened. I accept it. I felt it. I did what I needed to do. And then I can react the way that I need to versus,
Blowing up and lashing out.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And even in wrestling's helped me learn that specifically because I came into wrestling with this hood mentality like, oh, you can't hurt me, whatever. I'm tough girl. And that's not wrestling. Wrestling is, entertainment, theatrics, and all this stuff. So my pops had to, we call it 3-minute heat drill. He whooped my ass for 3 minutes and put me in some real holds where like it was stretching my shit. And I'm like, oh yeah. Wah. And that's when it clicked for me, in wrestling. Like, okay, this is, it's not per se real. Relax, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then number two,
So you made the move, and you went all in and you were like, this is what I'm gonna do. What was your first day of training?
There was a 15-year-old little girl in the ring, and I'm 20 years old. Okay. I get in the
Yeah,
ring for the first time, and we're doing a strike exchange. So forearms. And she
yeah.
cracked my shit, right? And I rolled out of the ring and I called my mother and I was like, there's this little blue haired bitch in the ring. And she just cracked the shit out of me. And mom's like, yeah, that's Billy Starks. She's like, hit her back. And I'm like, what? She's like 15, blah, blah, blah. I could go to jail. She's like, nah, she's in the ring. Hit her back. Trust me. I went back in there. Bow, bow. We went back and forth. And I was like, I like you and this, I was like, this is something. Like, it was a good way for me to release all my anger. She told me to hit her back. I did. Shout out to Billy. She's on AEW now. She's a superstar as well. But yeah, she
What
cracked me. I
surprised
didn't like that.
what surprised you the most about it?
Surprised me the most? Oh, snap. Hey,
Yeah,
dog.
I love your dog, by the way.
Maybe all the hate I got. I got a lot of hate when I first started because of my character. Everyone thought I was like playing a role versus just being myself, turned up to 1,000.
Yeah,
And yeah, that was kind of surprising considering my mom wrestled before me and my pops. And, a lot of people loved them and respected them. And then when I started, it was like even they started getting hate. So I was like,
yeah.
what the? Y'all know me since I was a kid. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, nothing with
Your
like the
first match.
physicality or anything. First match was great, to be honest. I mean, not great now compared to what I can do, but for a first match, it was really good. I lost. I lost for like my first year of wrestling, first of all. Maybe like first 15 matches at least. And then I started getting momentum.
She said at
Yeah.
least. It felt like a lot. It felt like a
Yeah,
lot.
no, it was a lot. It was a lot. They're big on respect. When I first started, the wrestling game was different. It was built on respect and like you had to earn everything. And now you can just try out and
Yeah,
wrestling's for everyone, but it's not. Yeah.
yeah. Who believed in you before everyone else did?
Me, myself, and I. I'll put my mama on the list too.
Yeah.
I will put my
You can tell you exude this belief in yourself,
you have to.
even when most. Yeah.
You have to.
Well,
You have to be delusional.
there's a lot of people that don't though. And for you to have been through all of this shit that you went through and still be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get up and do what I need to do every single day to give a better life to my son. That shit is respectful. Super
I appreciate it.
respectful.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
easy to give up, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
What
know.
did wrestling give you that life hadn't given you before?
This might sound crazy, but like validation. Like a lot of people hype my head up after the Netflix thing and everything. And I feel
Yeah.
like any other sports or, everything I did prior to this, I was not the most athletic. Like I had to work really hard to be even in the same, gym as the girls who are great. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think wrestling came natural and like very easy for me. It just makes sense. Like I get it. And this was the first time that I was like, wow, I'm like really good at something. So validation,
How long had you been wrestling before the Netflix special?
2 years.
And did you how did the Hollyhood Haley J name come about?
The name? Okay, so funny story. I have Hollywood tatted right here on my chest, right? That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
I told y'all I played ball. I was a cocky little bitch. I used to shoot threes and I'd be like, "Eh." So they called me Hollywood, right? Yeah, so they called me Hollywood. That was my name in the hood, streets, school, everywhere. So I was like, I'm just gonna use that for wrestling. It makes sense, right? Hollywood Haley J. And then before I had my first match, I did a rumble at IWA Mid South. And Ian Rotten calls me out in the meeting after, and he was like, this Hollywood, it doesn't fit you. You're too ghetto. And I was like, what? And then another wrestler in the back, Timmy Lou, was like, you should be Hollyhood. And I just went with it, and everyone hated it. My name gets me a lot of heat, bro. People be so mad. They're like, what hood you from? I'm like, adulthood, bitch. I don't know. Like, have you ever lived real life? Like, what?
Bro,
It's so funny.
we gotta get shirts made of that. What hood you from? Adulthood.
Adulthood.
Put a patent on that, girl. Put a patent on that. That was
Yeah.
legit.
You like that? See? Life. The shit
Yeah.
I went through made me funny. I love that about me.
So Hollyhood is a character.
Yes,
Do
she
you
is.
feel
She
like,
does.
and I feel like I don't feel like you're really a character. I feel like it's a version of you just on 10.
Oh, yeah.
Would
That's
that be a
exactly what
fair
it is.
assumption?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an extension. I remember when I first started wrestling, I'm like, what's my character going to be? What am I going to do? And my pops kept telling me, he was like, just be you. That's the greatest advice I've ever got in wrestling was just be you and turn it up, turn it up. And I'm like, all right. So I just went out there and I react how I would react if I were in these situations. And I think it makes it easier.
Yeah.
No bark.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm like a stereotypical white girl, I guess. Like I grew up in the suburbs and, I play this character and I am not about that life. You guys are wrong. I am about that life. I just don't want to be. I'm trying to grow up and be a sophisticated young lady. I've been saying it my whole life. Everyone used to make fun of me. They'd be like, you can't even spell sophisticated. And you're right. But one day I will be able to, Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, when the lights go off and you're back home, who's Haley?
I'm chill. I'm chilling. I'm chilling with my dog Stormy, or I'm trying to coach my son because my son got a cocky ass attitude just like me, but he wasn't as good as me. He got to work for it. So I be trying to coach my son now that I'm back home in Kentucky. And if I'm
Yeah.
not doing that, I'm chilling. I'm on the road a lot. I do a lot of traveling. This wrestling is not easy. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally gone
Yeah.
Sunday through Monday. I get home. I'll go in a sleep coma for a couple days. And then I gotta get up, get to work, get to training, get to Frankfurt to see Zayden's football game or running back and forth. Like I'm constantly on the move. Woo woo.
Yeah. And that's probably a good thing for you. Like
I
you
think so.
seem like a high energy person.
Yeah.
P.S. Stormy, I'm a huge Stormy fan. When you dyed Stormy pink, total pink, the first time you did it, I was flipping through on my run. I had to literally stop my run. I was laughing so hard, I almost pissed my pants. I told Brandon, we were on the podcast the other day. I said, dude, when we were talking about you, I was like, dude, I almost pissed my pants. I love your content and
I
like your
appreciate that.
vibe and your energy. But yeah, Stormy is definitely on my top list as well.
Mine too. She's my fave.
Yeah. What's your funniest road story while you've been wrestling?
Lord. My funniest road story?
Yeah. I'm sure
Funniest.
you got some.
I was gonna say I feel like I got a few funny ass things that happened. One time me and my girl Al got chased by a crackhead. That was pretty interesting because I didn't believe her, right? We were sitting
Yeah.
there and we were sitting there smoking, chilling, and this dude walked up on us and was like, "You want to go somewhere and have sex?" And we're like, "No, bro." And then he asked the dude in the car who was at the light, and then that dude said no, so he got mad and like broke a glass bottle right in front of us, and the glass like hit our legs. So Alice was like, "Okay, maybe we should move somewhere else," and I'm like, "Okay." So she's like,
Run?
yeah, shit. Look, that's the funny part, bro. We start walking, and this girl turns around, and I guess sees him following us, right? And I'm still sitting here trying to roll, and she takes off running back to the hotel, and I'm like, it's like he's not right there. I turn around, this motherfucker was right here, bro. I said, what? Shit, took off running, and then the security like had our back, and the dude's like dancing with the security, and he's like sticking his tongue out. He's like, and we're just like, what the fuck is happening right now? What's happening? We have
It's
plenty of
even
stories
real
like
life.
that. Plenty of stories like that.
Yeah.
Stories being stranded, you know what I'm saying? Going somewhere, being stuck. That happens a lot in wrestling. We're like, hey, can someone please come save me? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Uber probably wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
You
time. It's a
know,
time.
when Netflix happened, the wrestler show, what was your original reaction when they asked you to be on there?
Shit, I'm on TV. No, I'm just like, look, mom, I made it. My initial reaction was excitement. I was excited. We didn't know if it was going to be a real thing or not because, what little does anyone know, we did our own sizzle reel and like they sent us phones before Netflix picked it up. They sent us phones and like tripods and was like, record your life. You know what I'm saying? And that somehow this promotion put that together and sent it to Netflix and they wanted that. So they already knew like the people, they had ideas, right? But they did a good job of like pretending like they were filming everyone. They filmed for so long, so much, So I didn't think that I was going to be as big of a, you know, feature, I guess. I thought I was just in the show. But once it came out and everything, that was like pretty shocking. Everybody was hating on me like, "Oh, it's your show, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh shit. I didn't write this. I didn't do this, I just was me the whole time. Maybe you guys should open up and be you and then I don't know. But it's not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Let me just say that. Me being so honest and like me all the time, people are like, turn it off, be professional or whatever, which I am professional, by the way. I just will let you know about yourself. And I don't take no shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Were you nervous about the cameras following you?
Yes, I had big issues with that. And they were very annoying. Very annoying. I mean, as soon as I touched down, we got eyes on Haley. Can we get a mic on her? Can we get a mic on her? And then it's like, all the boys don't want to be around me because I got the mic on. They might want to talk shit or do whatever. And I'm just like, I'm mic'd up. And then also, it was very intrusive. I was not as open. Netflix is what opened the door for me to be so honest with everyone and open. I wasn't like that. So
Yeah.
it kind of took a little bit of prying for them to be like, let us talk to you. Let us in your house. Let us in your life, Because I was like, no, no. Why are they following me around? Move. I'm trying to smoke. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
What, watching yourself back, did anything surprise you from the show?
Hell yeah. My stupid ass ex talking shit, making me look bad, talking about the promotion I was working at, the all girls promotion, talking shit about the women being untrained whores. Like, I'm still working at this promotion when all this is coming out. So now all the girls are messaging me. First of all, watching it excited for me, trying to support their friend. And then they see their cameo, and they're getting shit on. And I'm just like, I'm so
See, what
sorry.
had happened was,
It
yeah,
wasn't me. I don't feel like this, by the way. It's his opinions. Yeah, that surprised me. And then also the production and everything, like I felt like a star. I was like, wow, that's me.
yeah.
Yeah. And then seeing me with my son, like the first episode, just wrestling around with my son and everything, like having that moment on the big screen, I cried. It was
It's
very,
funny because I didn't know anything about, which would lead into Power Slap or any of that area. Don't know nothing about wrestling. Didn't know anything about that. And Jackie
very,
Cataline, I became
yep.
friends with her, and she was like, just come with me to one of the shows or whatever. And
Okay.
you were there, and like I instantly became a fan of yours. And I was like, you reminded me of girls back home in Alabama because they were about that life and they say whatever and there's no filter and whatever. And I'm very much the same way. They have to put a
Yes.
muzzle on me most of the time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
And
controlled about that life. I'm controlled.
so going into that, how did the opportunity come about from Power Slap?
Dude, they hit me up. This is all right. Power Slap story is probably the funniest one, to be honest. I
Yeah,
declined Power Slap for 3 months. Sin Bodie was messaging me, Haley, this is perfect for you. You're going to make more money. They'll cover your health benefits, like, all these things. And all I could think about was, I want to be a pro wrestler. And you're asking me to take a unprotected shot to the face where I'm already getting beat up in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I was very cautious
yeah,
about that. I was like, I don't know about it. If you would have asked me when I was 20 years old, no doubt would have hopped in there. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, I have a kid. I have my wrestling career. I'm a pretty big name already. So I'm thinking. And then even that, like me getting knocked out would have impacted my career. So I thought until it happened. But
yeah,
I took all those things into consideration. And then, yeah, I declined politely. Sin would not let it go. He kept bugging mom. My mom was like, she's doing it. I'm like, no, I'm not. Okay. And then Sin got a hold of my pops, who is my whole freaking brain. Okay. And
yeah,
explained everything to him. And then once my pops came back to me, he was like, there's weight classes, which I didn't know that, I guess. So there's weight
yeah,
classes. The money's good. And then also, if anything was to happen to me, they will cover it medically. Right. So then he tells me, just go to the combine because you're going to get paid. So just go to the
yeah,
combine. If you don't feel like it's for you, you don't have to have any matches, right? Well, I went to the combine, and Swanye, who just went for the title against Ellie,
yeah,
she slapped it. They were like, just slap it and let's see like what you guys got. We know no technique, you know what I'm saying? So she slaps it
yeah,
and it freaking pops and makes a big ass noise. I got some long ass nails on, so I kind of, my competitiveness came out. I was like, oh, hold on, bitch. Bit my nails off. And I'm like over here trying to figure it out. And I figured it out in like slow motion, my whole technique or whatever. And
yeah,
it made the big noise. And I was like, oh shit. I figured it out. And once I figured it out, like I started having fun, and I was like, start asking everybody, like, are you really gonna do it? I think I might do it. Fuck it. I think I'm gonna do it. And then
yeah.
I did it, and I was successful. I knocked Jamie down. My slaps got better each time. I knocked Jamie down on the last one. And my head got big. A big ass head. I was feeling myself. I was talking my shit. And then when it came to Ellie, she did a great job of playing me. She was super nice. They offering sponsorships. Oh, just building my head up. So I was really like, oh my God, I don't want to hit her. Like, she's so nice. I love this girl, right? She did a great job of doing that shit. So I was not locked in Hollyhood. I was just like, let's go slap each other. And then I made a huge mistake with my breathing. Shit I didn't know because she didn't slap me as hard or as fast, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know these things. And once I got my dumb ass knocked out, I learned real quick, right? And then I even went to the back because I'm still new. This was my second match ever. I thought she hit the button like everyone had been talking about. And that's why she got me. But I was wondering why I wasn't like sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, like what was it? And then when I got to the back, she told me, she was like, thanks for letting out all your air. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And then I went back and studied and watched, and you see me go, and then she slaps me. And I'm like, you have to do it on contact, you know? So I put that theory to the test with Destiny and pulled out on top, which also I learned from Ellie, the chin tucking. Yes, I'm going to talk my shit, Ellie. I'm sorry. She tucked the fuck out of her chin. And I learned that though, because I remembered in my second match, I was like, I could not get a good hit. I couldn't get the hit. So I was like, I'm going to tuck my chin in the next match and I'll be damned. The refs had to move me. You saw me fighting them and shit? Yeah. Fuck y'all. They didn't do that to her in the freaking main event. That's fine. Whenever we go back, I get my lick back. I'm going to make sure to be the most annoying person. And I do want to be clear. I like Ellie. I love her story. I think she's a great person, you know, outside of Power Slap. And she's doing exactly what she should be doing. She got a good push from the machine and a lot of connects, you know what I'm saying, that other people don't have, okay? And then she's got her personality, which if we're being honest, who are the people gonna push? A fucking hood rat who's like, yeah, I'm trying to get my titties done, or the sweet girl who's like, charity, you know what I'm saying? I get it. And I don't mind being the bad guy in everybody's story, but I definitely want my lick back, and I'm gonna be the most annoying person ever.
Well, can I be honest for a second?
Please.
I'm taking the hood rat. I mean,
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
know what
Are you?
everybody. I'm taking Hollyhood. I mean,
I appreciate that. Can you tell wrestling
you
that
know,
too? That's like
yeah,
the number one
yeah,
thing I get. You're not marketable. You need to calm down. And I'm like, why? There is a good guy and a bad guy in every story. In every sport, there's a favorite and a not favorite. I'm okay with not being the favorite or the bad guy. Like, let me do that. Let me do it. You
but
know?
you know what? I don't think you're the bad guy. I think that people don't know how to take in real. Our world has become so
So
diluted with
sensitive.
fake ass,
Yes.
phony people, people that are in church on Sundays but was at the strip club on Saturday night.
Exactly.
Like
Amen.
it's
Amen.
hypocrites and all of
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah. And they're quick to judge without
So
even having a conversation with you. And that's why people misconcept me. They're like, I don't know her. She looks like this, you know. You don't know me.
yeah. How is Power Slap different from wrestling?
Ugh. It's crazy. I get a different adrenaline rush because with wrestling, I'm supposed to trust you. I'm supposed to trust you with my body, and we're supposed to go out here and make magic. But sometimes that doesn't work out so well. And people are like, yeah, you can trust me. Whop, 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 and then fuck you up, right? With Power
Yeah.
Slap, it's like, I know you're trying to kill me. I know that you're trying to kill me, and I'm trying to kill you too. I'm sorry. You know, I said that with Destiny. Destiny's my friend. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're cool. And I feel like Power Slap saw us getting closer, training together, and they were like, let's see if they'll slap each other. Who? I think what they thought me and Destiny were gonna look like were Swan and Ellie's main event. Those two out there giggling, hee ha ha ha, and you know, with their slaps. Me and Destiny slapped the shit out of each other, and then was like, "All right, good game, bitch. Fuck, that was good." You know, like I
Yeah.
don't know. Once you go onto the stage, you're gonna get Hollyhood, not Haley J. I'm really cool. I swear I am. But Hollyhood, run, run.
Run.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
another
we've
thing,
talked.
I was sick as
Yeah.
fuck with Destiny. I had food poisoning or something. So I was literally shitting and throwing up from 6 a.m. the day of the fight, right?
Yeah.
We got to the fight. The people gave me some Pepto Bismol, which settled my stomach. Thank you, Jesus. And I went out fighting Destiny with spandex, with my underwear, spandex, the leggings they give us, and my sweatpants because I was terrified that I was going to shit myself. But
Shit
that's the
myself.
type of person I am. I go out anyways. I'm like, nah, you're not holding me back. And that was probably my best match. And I kept saying all day, I was like, Jordan, game six, Jordan, game six, like lock in. And I think that is even different than Hollyhood. Like that Haley on that stage she was tuned in.
Bout
Yeah.
it, bout it.
Good times.
Yeah. You know, we talked about wrestling, Netflix, and Power Slap, but I have a feeling the title that you're most proud of is being a mom.
Correct. It's the only
What's the
reason why I do
favorite?
any of this.
I 100%. What is your favorite thing about being a mom?
The fact that he's me, it's kind of like my karma, but like it's just so crazy to me that I made this life, and he acts like me. He walks like me. He thinks I'm so cool. I think
Yeah,
the coolest part is like, yeah, his dad is his dad, but he's my twin. You know what I'm saying? Like that is my son. He's boy version of me.
yeah.
And it's a blessing and a curse. I will say that. We'll find out when he's older. That's why I'm trying to check him now. Let me get this
Put
under
a
control before you get bigger than me? Yeah.
true story. What's the hardest part?
Not being there. I'm always on the road with wrestling and, trying to build this lifestyle for him, but he's not here with me all the time. I get to visit and you know what I'm saying? It's not the same as like being full on responsible, like, getting up, taking him to school, making sure he goes to practice, feeding him, everything. Like that is the hardest part is not being here. I've missed his birthday. I have missed his graduation, kindergarten graduation. I missed that all because I'm on the road wrestling on tour somewhere. And that shit sucks. It's really hard. That is the hardest part.
Yeah. How is motherhood, or what has motherhood taught you about yourself?
I would say like the type of parent that I want to be versus don't want to be. Like the
Yeah,
way my mom handled things versus the way I handled things. Because at first I feel like I was picking up on her mannerisms and doing like her, but then I noticed that my son was having a temper and like no patience, getting angry, not knowing how to communicate his feelings. And I'm like, that's because I got frustrated and didn't, talk him through it or, whatever. Now, I'm not saying be a gentle parent. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out here real quick because gentle parenting does not work. Sometimes my boy needs his ass whooped and I will do that, right? But I also
yeah,
bring him back around and we talk about the situation and explain. I get him thinking as to why he made this decision or why he, pushed his friend. My son got a little attitude, okay? So I have to get him thinking sometimes as like, why? Why do you feel like this? And then once you realize why, then I can be like, hey, I'm mad because of this, and not be like, yeah.
yeah.
That's what we're working on.
Two things powerful about that. Number one is that you are teaching him instead of just I agree sometimes ass whoopings or spankings need to happen,
Yeah,
but I see
absolutely.
a lot of people just spank kids and they don't explain to them
Yeah,
or
that was
they
my
don't
mom.
talk to them or
Exactly.
they don't work through the emotion, which leads to the reactions that we had and going down that cycle of destruction.
Exactly.
And then part two to that is for you seeing tendencies and traits in him that are from you so that you can navigate and help him see that. That's pretty powerful.
Yes.
What's something that you've had to forgive yourself for?
That moment, the gun moment when we got robbed, because that was hard. And also, I would say that and then letting him go live with his dad. That was like the hardest decision I ever had to make. And I felt like a horrible parent, like a failure, because I'm like, I don't even have my kid. I'm not the one providing for him and doing all this stuff. Like, I failed. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. And I had to realize that. But that was
Yeah,
a tough one. Like actually letting him go live with his dad because he was with me the whole first 5 years of his life until he starts school. And all these things kept happening at the house. The abusive relationship with him sitting there watching that shit. Didn't appreciate that. Didn't appreciate finding the gun in the yard. Just a lot of things that made me do that. And it was hard. It was hard.
yeah. What's a lesson that life has taught you the hard way?
Don't rush the process. Enjoy the journey. Because the longer or the more that you try to rush and do it your way, the longer it's going to take for you to get it. As soon as you relax and let everything work out for itself, which it will, if you have positive intuition, like I be saying, it starts in here. Everything works out, okay? And if you truly believe that, then it will. But if you fight yourself on that and you're trying to make things happen, I was trying to get signed to a contract for so long, trying, pushing, pushing. It doesn't. It doesn't. It actually pushes further. So I learned that the hard way. I'm still learning that right now. but that's definitely huge thing. You got to enjoy the process.
100%. I say something. I say let go and let God. That's when I really
I mean,
started healing.
mhm,
Is I stopped tearing my fingers up trying to hold doors open that God was closing, right?
mhm,
And that's where, like exactly what you said, go with the process and know what's meant to be is going to be and what is not meant to be. There's a reason and a season for it, and just be
absolutely.
okay with what you got. Be grateful, because there's a lot of people that wish they were in your shoes.
Boom. That's another thing. Being grateful, being appreciative of the
Yeah,
things that I already have. That's huge. I may not be where I want to be yet mentally, but I'm
yeah,
already further than a lot of people, expected. And I'm in some spots that a lot of people want to be, and I don't
yeah,
really think about that until I do. I sit down and I'm like, you know what? I am blessed. I am cool. I have done some shit out here. Like, I'm just not done yet. Okay.
yeah. Speaking of that, after your wrestling career is over, after Power Slap, what do you want people to remember about you?
That I was me and that I didn't sell out or, let the people change me, the quote unquote the money change me. Like, I will forever be me. Maybe turned down a little bit because I don't always want to be known for being a hothead or explosive per se.
Yeah,
But I do want to be known for standing 10 toes down for me, not taking no shit. And then also just my personality. Like, I'm a funny, cool ass person. So that's what I want to be known for being me. Like, people appreciate me being me. I don't put on a facade for anyone else. I don't change it up just because I offended someone. Like, no, it's good. I want to be known. My legacy was, damn, that girl never changed who the fuck she was.
I love it.
Can't
I love it.
change me for nothing.
Imagine it's 20 years from now and your son is grown. He finds this conversation and he watches it for the first time. What's the one
Yeah.
thing you hope that he understands about his mom after watching this episode?
I might be a little crazy, but I definitely put my whole heart and soul into everything I do. And it doesn't matter if I have a machine pushing me. It doesn't matter if, I'm not marketable, whatever the case. With all odds stacked against me, I somehow find my way to make it to the top. So really, anything is possible as long as you believe. And I love you. Crazy.
I love it. I think that's a beautiful place to end.
Yes,
Haley, thank you for trusting me with your story today. I know a lot
of
of
course.
people know Hollyhood, but I think after this conversation, they got to know Haley. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much
Thanks for
for
having
coming
me.
on. You are a whole vibe and an energy, and I'm forever a fan.
Oh, thank you.
If you ever need anything, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you do big things.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Follow me at Hollyhood Haley J.
I'm gonna have all the links
Yeah.
in the bio. I got you. Go give her a follow, y'all.
Thank you.